Today we're talking about the game of life, how to play this game that you are playing right now in the simulation. Welcome to Meta5Manifestation.com, and we're going to talk about the game. That's right. We are playing a game every day in our lives when we're manifesting, okay? And when I say game, I'm talking about something that has structure, right? Every game has rules. And in every game, there are also consequences for breaking the rules, right? Like penalties. And that happens to us in life through our thoughts, through our feelings, and everything that you do initiates a reaction. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to play this game, this manifestation game. And you hear very successful people saying that, how I got things in life and how I accomplished was through gamifying the system. Well, we know that our thoughts produce reality, right? What we focus on intently will produce results, okay? So the game is just this. In order to play the game and win at it, I'm going to tell you the secret right up front, is that you have to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled in the very beginning. Yeah, you must believe that you have already received what you want. Be in the end state, live in the end state, and persist in that, and that will become yours. That's your rules, right? That's how to win at the game. So what does that mean sort of in practical reality, right? Well, it means just this. First of all, in order to play this game, you have to know what you want. What's your goal? What's the outcome? Okay, and you can only answer that to yourself. Yeah, and you can even ask yourself that question and say, what do I want? What is it that I really want? And you can answer for yourself that desire. Is it a new job, a new car? What do you want? You want to go on a trip? You want to meet the person of your dreams? Something small, something little, right? And you can test it in many, many different ways. And so what you have to do is assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Okay, so how do you know what that feeling is of the wish fulfilled? Well, you ask yourself, how would it feel if I already had everything that I wanted? If everything was already mine, how would that feel? And that feeling that comes to you is the feeling that you must assume. Yeah, you have to get yourself into that mindset, right? And know that there are the rules, but you make the rules, okay? Because we determine what we want. And the mood that we assume, right, our self-image, how we view the world and how we view ourselves is what is going to recreate that reality. So if you want to be rich, then be rich. Assume that feeling right now. And it's easier said than done, right? This is one of those things that we as human beings tend to overcomplicate, yeah? And there are actually neurological reasons as to why this happens, right? Because when we're confronted with something, our mind often catastrophizes an end, right? Because that's our nervous system actually trying to ensure that we maintain the status quo in our lives. It's a very, very slippery slope to try and overcome for people in the beginning, okay? And I teach you all about this in my course, how to overcome these neurological prompts. Yeah, because I explain it down to the core. And once you realize what's going on, it's like running a play. Yeah, and every time you're running a play, that same play, say in sports, you keep getting blocked or you keep getting hit or something goes wrong. And all you need is a coach to tell you, well, this is why it's happening. You need to just step this way or move this way or reposition yourself or just wait a second longer. And then once you unblock those things, it's like, oh, okay, now it's working. It's the same thing when it comes to these concepts of life, yeah? And so the game literally is to get in the feeling of the wish fulfilled and stay in that mood. You are that person. Assume that new personality, right? And this is so, so empowering when we learn about this because, again, I'm going to repeat my framework here of energy in, energy out, which is that you are in a simulation and you are in control. So control it with confidence, right? Ask and follow your intuition because everything you need is already in front of you. Everything already exists. And I've taught you that in previous videos and previous lessons, that if you want to have something, right, achieving your goals and manifesting is very simple. It's just like taking a step. You want to go to what's in your imagination from your present reality. Well, your present reality doesn't look like your imagination, does it? You close your eyes and you imagine all these really cool things, and then you open your eyes and it's not so. And your nervous system and your brain loves to remind you of that fact. It's like, no, you don't have that. You're not worthy of that. You get all this negative self-talk and all these things going on. Well, you have to learn to overcome that. And that's why I say you control it with confidence. Okay, you persist in that vision. And what is vision? Can you answer me what vision is? Well, this is a very, very important word that needs a definition. I will tell you what vision is according to manifestation. It's assuming your wish fulfilled, okay? But here's how you do it. You use your imagination. Imagination is the way that you get into the mood or get into that space of where you know it exists. You go into your imagination and you imagine an end result, okay? How would it look? How would it feel? Imagine somebody congratulating you. And now here's where you step it up into the proper technique of what vision is. Vision is actually elevating imagination into using more than one sense. So when you're visualizing something or when you're imagining something, don't just sit there and imagine yourself in a situation like I'm getting the keys to my new car, right? I can drive away this new car, okay? But don't just imagine that. You have to imagine using more than one sense. And this is the secret that elevates it to vision, and it's going to stay with you. It's going to, through that imaginal act, you're going to do it so deeply, so powerfully. It's going to be so real as a fantasy or a daydream. You're going to come out of it maybe really believing that you were there. Once you've done that, you've actually impregnated your reality, because it should feel like you've actually finished or you've done something, okay? And that's why they say creation is finished. And Napoleon Hill, Neville Goddard often use this idea of sexual transmutation, right? The acts, this metaphor, this allegory of the sexual act in creation, because you're actually creating something here, believe it or not, okay? So when you're using your imagination, involve others in it. Bring a friend in, bring a relative, somebody that you know is going to be supportive, right? Or even, somebody that is going to say something. And when I say senses, maybe if your sense of smell is very, very powerful, involve a scent in there. If your sense of hearing is very powerful, maybe, and this is what I like to do, is here I like to put people in there that I know have a particularly entertaining or happy or strange way of speaking, and I like to put them in my visualizations because I can hear their intonation and their phraseology of things, and it makes me laugh or feel a certain way. Because once you engender that feeling, you've actually made it real. Or a sight, right? And which senses do you involve? Again, which ones are more powerful to you? Like for me, it's sound and it's sight and touch. Like I can imagine touching or being touched, which would enliven a scene. For you, it may be your sense of smell or something else. But again, use at least two senses, and the ones that are most powerful for you, because you're made differently from I am. But include those things in there, and that will elevate it to a vision. And once that is done, you're going to know it's done, and use that, persist in that, knowing that it's already created for you. Creation is done. That's how you do it. Persist in that vision, right? You don't have to repeat it every day, but it's like it is already done. Creation is finished, and that's the beautiful part about it, right? What I'm trying to say to you to wrap this all up is that you must believe in it, okay? That you've already received it, and that you will. You must believe that you already have received it, your desire, in order to attain it. And then you start the game by believing it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. Take care. Drop in the comments down below that I believe. right? Just say, I understand. Or if you have questions, drop questions down there. But all right, see you in the next one. Keep it locked in, meta5manifestation.com. Head over there, meta5manifestation.com/free class for my free masterclass. All right. Love you. Take care.